Andrew, one of the issues that you've been reporting on in recent days is the issue of once the contracts are locked in for coal and gas over coming weeks and months, then it's almost too late. Then it's really the only option you've got is rebates to deal with the soaring energy prices. So the government's on a tight timeline.
That is the case. We reported that Sunday. The Australian energy regulator, Kieran, saying they had to act by the end of November on some measures. But if you're expecting a solution on energy prices next week when Parliament resumes, you're out of luck. There'll be a plan in the next few weeks, I'm told, and the government is aware of the urgency of acting before it is too late to stop the 50% price rises next year. But don't expect anything next week. We know Chris Bowen, the Climate Change and Energy Minister, is off to the COP27 in Egypt. It is he, the Treasurer, Resources Minister Madeleine King and the Industry Minister Ed Husic who are awaiting advice from their departments on options. We saw former ACCC Chair Rod Sims suggest a range of actions this morning, including a mandatory code of conduct which requires gas producers to supply domestic markets and a windfall profits tax on resources companies. The Prime Minister was asked about these suggestions earlier.
Well, what we have, of course, is the heads of agreement that Mr Sims referred to in his article today. We've said we're prepared to examine further action, which is exactly what we're doing. What we need to do now is to make sure that we address the issue of price. The government has said we're examining all of the options and will continue to do so over the next little period.
Well, Rod Sims on with Kieran shortly. But Angus Taylor, Shadow Treasurer, former Energy Minister, said people like Ed Husic, the Industry Minister, who'd been calling gas companies locusts, he said that wasn't particularly helpful. We need to work with the gas companies to secure supply and get prices down.
You've got senior ministers who've been calling gas BS and a fraud, and then they're asking the gas producers to work with them. They've got this the wrong way around. Supply is the answer. Rod Sims put it very well in the last little while, where he said you just got to get more supply in the domestic network and you'll get those prices down. We've seen it in Australia. It's worked. We know it worked.